3.5 months postpartum, so I thought I would do kind of a what I use on a day-to-day basis with my 3.5-month-old, like everyday staples. So let's kind of get into that. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I thought that I would do a everyday staple at 3.5 months postpartum for Isabella, and I guess for me too. So let's get into that video. Okay, two of like my most used, like that I personally need for like doing things is the Baby Bjorn, the Baby Bjorn bouncer, which I love. So of the toy attachment, I actually have two. I have one upstairs and this one down here, and she slowly started to like move them and pay more attention to the toys, which I love. And then it's their mini carrier. I love the mini carrier because it's easier for me to put on. We do have the bigger carrier that my husband actually does. He's used like once or twice, which I'll eventually get there, but I just love how convenient this one is and how like easy it is to strap on. So I have this one. I also have it in the leopard print that I keep in my trunk. Sometimes I take it out and use it here, depending if this is being cleaned. Right now, she is not feeling so good, so this is our sick basket. I'm actually going to do a separate video on what's in here, but I carry this around. It was in the diaper caddy that we had upstairs, but now that she's no longer in our room, I transitioned it to our sick caddy. I'm gonna be walking around and doing it because I'm not gonna just sit in one spot because everything's kind of everywhere. And then I still use a diaper caddy. I love it. I think it's so convenient to be able to move it around, and my son loves to be able to like bring this to me if he sees that I'm gonna change her, so that also helps him like be included. And then actually I need to turn this off. We do use the pack and play down here. She does nap down here pretty often. If I can get her to nap in her crib, she will, but we have the pack and play and the Hatch Go, which I just attach here. I love this thing. I do want to get another one to keep in the car because I find myself forgetting it. And then this is her play area. I got the like play area thing off of Walmart. And then the play mat, we have a baby Einstein that's actually from my son. I did keep it. Controversial topic, but I love a changing pad. I still use a changing pad. I just think it's convenient. I do use a boppy for tummy time still, which is good to help like elevate them, especially with her acid reflux. And then she just has like toy bins in there. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but personally I love the play area. I have a dog that sheds. I also have a 2.5-year-old, so this is just like a way where I can put her down and not feel stressed out that the dog's trying to lick like all over her face, or that my son's like messing around with her. So, and she loves being in there, and I also think like the sun's right there, the window, so like she can see kind of out if I have it open. They're currently in the fridge, but I use the Mom Cozy M6. That is like my everyday pump. I don't use like the Spectra. This is the one my insurance covered. I also have the Legendary Milk Duet pump, which is upstairs. It is wireless. It's just like a tiny little portable pump. Well, it's not wireless, like it has cords, but you're not plugged into a wall. Like the motor itself it's like almost like a portable charger. It's a portable pump. That one I use if like my Mom Cozies aren't clean, or I'm upstairs and my Mom Cozies are down here. This is in my other video, in my morning vlog, I think, kind of just in depth what I use them all for, but for her, we use her daily like but for her we have the vitamin D drops. I use these every day because if you're breastfeeding, you don't have enough vitamin D for them. She has her acid reflux medication she still is taking, and then her Mommy Bliss probiotics. I think Pink Stork does sell their probiotics, but this was gifted to us, so I'm using whatever was gifted to us first. And then occasionally gas drops. We're doing a lot better now that like she's moving more. It's helping like all the gas build up. But those are her supplements that she takes every day. And then I have two monitors. This one was gifted to us by Mom Cozy. This is the one I keep down here in her playpen, or play bassinet thing, in case I need to go upstairs and clean, or like I just want to be able to see her if I'm trying to block like my son from being over there. And then she's currently napping right now. But then I have this one, which is also a 2-camera. One's in my son's room, so one's in her room. So you're able to see both, which I love. The rooms are dark right now, but you can see both monitors, which I love. Worth the price. I'm trying to think, what else do I still use? I know upstairs we still use, like, her hatch is an everyday must-have. She does have a changing table over there. Swaddles right now. So I'm like a mix of swaddles. She uses Crane Baby Swaddle. I think that's down here. Oh, it is. Okay, so we did this. We have the Swaddle Me. This is from, they're both from Amazon. The Swaddle Me, this one just kind of keeps her hands up, but you can open them up so their hands can come out. Recently though, I've been trying to like slowly sway away from that because I know as time goes on and she needs to transition out of it, the reflux of their hands like going up and down can be a hard transition. That was a hard thing with my son. So I've been kind of just putting her in this one. This is from Crane Baby. It is super, super cute, but she does like this one. She does sleep with this one really well, but I also think she's just getting used to her arms being out. She does have some from Amazon, like just like random ones that we've also used. So I don't know as of right now if we have like a favorite sleep sack. I'm just trying to testing the waters with everything. The Owlet, I do use the Owlet every night. Honestly, it is such a like anxiety reliever. Okay, no limes. I need to do a grocery pickup also, just of small things. My son, I didn't even think about it, but like he likes to play with the light in the fridge, and sometimes I'm like, okay, if I'm grabbing stuff out of the fridge, I'm not bothered by it. But I also didn't realize the on-off button for the temperatures was right next to it. I don't know why or how I never noticed it. I went to open my freezer to make a smoothie today, and everything's defrosted in there. And so I'm like, I tried so hard not to cry because it's just like a lot of money, but like at the same time, my son didn't know. I should have been more careful. So yeah, so I have to do a pickup. Luckily, we didn't have like a lot of stuff in there. I didn't even know that was there. Pacifiers, we are using the Nook pacifiers. My son used these, and she is not much of a pacifier baby. She'll like use it for like a few minutes, especially like at night, and then spit it out and launch it out, and she'll be fine for the rest of the night. So she's not a huge pacifier baby, but we do use the Nook ones. And then for diapers, we're using Millie Moon. I absolutely love them. So that's what we're using. I feel like I'm missing more, but I feel like I'm also not. And in terms of my postpartum, I will say I am doing a lot better this time around than I was with my son because I really struggled. If you've seen like my birth video vlog and everything, I think I talked about that a little bit. But I think just more like being on top of things, and because I know what I went through with my son and how bad it can get, I've really like put the steps in to not go through that. I mean, I take my antidepressants, I take postpartum mood support pills. I am working out. I am starting to get into the routine of like consistently going, but I'm giving myself a lot of grace, like if I don't completely finish a workout, because it's still a process to get myself there, but I am making myself at least move my body every day in a workout form. My hair loss is so strong though. I am quite literally like, I could make a wig out of all my hair. So we are doing good about that. I did move my daughter into her room around like 6 weeks old because I have a really bad anxiety with her. I think just like with complications of like when she was born and things like that scare me. So we have her in her room. Honestly, it was okay, we kind of moved locations hoping it's not as loud as it would be over there. But yeah, so we put her in her room, which honestly I'm kind of grateful we did early because it got her used to it. I did her naps in her room. That's something that like I've always been persistent on, like even with my son, was to get them used to sleeping in their crib. I wish I would have gotten my son used to sleeping in a pack and play because he literally cannot sleep anywhere but his crib. So now she'll literally sleep anywhere, which I am super grateful for. We still are dealing like with her reflux, which my son had acid reflux. And I knew she had it when she would like consistently spit up and was just like super uncomfortable. Because the spit up was a lot more than normal, but like you have happy spitters, who are babies who just spit up and they're totally fine. Whereas with her and like my son, when they would spit up, it would be super uncomfortable for them. I mean, just think about if you've had acid reflux, it literally feels the same way for them. So I kind of knew that was what it is. So she is on medication. We are still dairy-free. I was dairy-free with my son. We actually just had a slip-up on accident, which was absolutely terrifying because oh my goodness, sorry. We're still detoxing from that. So she's just been really uncomfortable, like trouble passing gas, going to the bathroom, like things like that. Her stomach is very uncomfortable. She's really just uncomfortable, and that kind of really reassured, like not reassured, reconfirmed like it is dairy, because I have been dairy free and she's been so good up until the day after I accidentally had dairy. So now there's a rule in my house that I have to eat cereal in a very different bowl than everybody else. I did not think much about that. So yeah, I do have my days where like I am just not feeling so good. Like I have a lot of self-doubt some days where I'm like, am I doing a good enough job? Like, and I think like last week I was in such a funk where like I felt myself falling back into kind of like that hole that I was in with my son, and I was like, no, like I cannot do that. So like I really tried to pull myself out of it. I think the biggest thing for me is doing things that I absolutely love for myself. I did fall back like a little bit with like social media. I did slowly start taking a step back like during the day. I think I gave myself like 2 or 3 days too, where like I would post like on my story, post my videos, like maybe be on it for like 5-10 minutes, but then like kind of just do something for myself, which was much needed. Like I spent a day making homemade bagels and really working on my sourdough starter. And things like that. And those are things that I really loved doing prior to having kids, or kind of like got into when my husband and I got married. So I still want to continue doing that. I know that like I'm still only super early in the postpartum phase, but I feel like I've set a decent ground for myself. I do have a lot more support now than I did with my son, and I think that plays a huge role. Like I had no support with my son. I didn't have family near me. I didn't have like emotional support besides like my husband, and even then we were kind of going through it because he's never had a kid either, so everything is so new, and everything that I was going through was very taboo, and like you don't talk about postpartum depression. You're a mom, you're not supposed to go through that, like, oh, you're being dramatic type of thing. So I definitely have a lot more support now. I'm very vocal, like I'm struggling, I need help, or you know what, I'm not doing this, it's not good for me, it's not good for my family. Like I very much have set the ground with myself, and what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with doing, and what I'm okay with letting into my life. My son has adjusted pretty well. I was a little nervous about him. Obviously we're in the twos, you know, the terrible twos, and I've worked with kids of all ages, so I know that like 2 to 3 is probably like I will say one of the hardest ages to like work with. Because they're learning their emotions and everything and how to express it, and like in the border of like I understand but I don't, so that can be a little stressful. But my son is very much the type, like he's not a toy player, so he's like, I want to help you bake, I want to help you cook, like let me help do the laundry, like if I vacuum he wants to vacuum type of thing. So I try to include him in things like that, and that tends to help. I also, he has a lot of busy boards and things like that, but with her, like he wakes up in the morning and he looks for her. He's like, where's sister? Like before bed he comes in, he's good night sister, good night mom, gives us both a kiss, like so freaking sweet. And I was a little nervous about like if he was gonna feel a little different way, but to be honest, he's taken on the role of a big brother in such a good way, and I am so thankful about that, because that I think was a huge adjustment where I was a little nervous how that was gonna go. And I will say, my husband and I are definitely on a better path this time around than we were before, because there was like, now there's like that expectation of what we know, what we need from each other when it comes to our kids. And it is very much divide and conquer for us during bedtime, but it's never, I don't feel like it's, oh, I don't get to spend time with him. Also, I'm very thankful. Both of my kids go to bed at the same time and they wake up at the same time. Isabella wakes up maybe like once or twice a night for her pacifier. Like that's it. She doesn't really eat until like 7. Oh my goodness. 7 in the morning, 7:30, and I feed her and she goes back to bed till like 8:30. So I'm very thankful about that. But we don't have that, like, we try to include each other in each of the kids' bedtime. So like if I'm getting Isabella ready for bed, like we're all in the room like doing things in there. And then when Waylon's going to bed, like we all say goodnight. Wyatt will go in there and like read a book while I go put her down. So we technically both come down around the same time, which is good. And he has been super helpful with like me. Like he washes my pump parts every day. Like he makes sure my water's filled up, if I've eaten, things like that. Like he's very much more attentive to the things that I need and that I struggled with postpartum. So I'm very grateful about that. And I feel like our communication is so much better. And like, I'm like, okay, what do you need? Like, I know that you're coming home, it's exhausting, your kids are excited to see you, like, what do you need type of thing. So I feel like we're on a good pathway with that, which I'm happy for, because I know that the roommate phase is so normal, and I mean, we go through it. We still have moments like that that we're trying to pull out of. But overall, I feel like my postpartum experience has been pretty good. So, but this is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you're new here, come join our family and subscribe. I love you guys.